All right, in this lesson, we're going to learn about the language of relational databases. So we're going to come here and we're going to right-click on our database and we're going to select New Query, and a new query window will open. And now let's talk about SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it is the language of relational databases. However, each database vendor has their own flavor, and Microsoft is called Transact SQL. Oracle has PL SQL, and so on. We, as SQL Server DBAs, need to become familiar writing Transact SQL. Within the umbrella of Transact SQL, there are two main branches. There is DML and DDL. DML is data manipulation language, and DDL is data definition language. So most of the time when we're working with the transactions in our databases, we'll be using DML. We're going to manipulate that data somehow. Let's manipulate that data right now with our very first Transact SQL statement. So we're going to ask SQL Server to give us all the rows or the top rows in a specific table. So how do we do that? We say select. Select says give me. The asterisk means all rows, all tables. From what? From what object? It's going to be a table most of the time, but it can be a view. So we know that in our database, our ABcours Guru database, we have a table named customer. And as we begin to type, nope, IntelliSense did not kick in. All right, so we have a lot of rows in this table because I accidentally left load generator on when I left to go see a movie. All right, from the last video. So we don't want all the rows because we'll have to sit here and wait on it, and that'll be a long time because I think it's millions. We only want a few rows. So we want to go top 100 all. So give me the top 100 of those rows from this table. And here we are with the top. Let's see if it brought back 100. Good, 100. And we can see it brought back all the columns in that table. What if we only wanted one column? Well, then we have to remove the asterisks and tell SQL Server what we want. We want last name. Select top 100, last name from customer. We only want the last name returned. Well, how about we bring back the first name also? Well, how about we bring back the first name first and then the last name? So how about we say first name, then last name from our table. And again, only the top 100. All right, so this is an example of data manipulation language. All right, we're manipulating our data. The other language is DDL, or data definition language. We're going to define some object. We're going to create an object. For example, let's go and create an index on a table. Remember what an index is from our previous lesson. An index helps speed data retrieval for a given query. So let's come to ABcours Guru. Let's go to the table. Let's go to the index, and we have several indexes here. So let's right-click on the index, new, non-clustered index. Don't worry about what that is. All right, don't worry about the difference between a non-clustered and the clustered and all the other indexes you see there. Just in this lesson, we want to focus on the two kinds or two branches of Transact SQL. So let's create our non-clustered index. Let's give it a name. I have my own naming convention. You can have whatever naming convention you like. Microsoft has theirs. I give mine a different naming convention so I can see the progress of my indexes. So I say non-clustered index IDX underscore. I like to give it the date because finding the date the index was created, it's not so simple really. Next, I like to have the table and then the column that the index will be on. So let's put it on, how about customer ID? Okay. So we've got to finish it. And now here is my favorite button. All right, why is it my favorite button? It allows us to script out the creation of the object we're defining in our little wizard here. So let's say script. Let's get rid of this. And now we can see that we have a create non-clustered index. This is an example of DDL, data definition language. We are defining something. We're not manipulating anything with this. We're creating a separate structure. And here, that structure is an index. All right, so you can see the syntax, create non-clustered index, pretty straightforward. On, well, we defined it on the customer ID. So let's create that index. And let's come down and refresh indexes. And we can see that that index has been created. So in this lesson, we learned the language of SQL Server. The language of SQL Server is called Transact SQL. Within SQL, we have two main branches. The first branch is DML, and the second is DDL.